welcome to another edition of Ventrac Live with some new product announcements. My name's Aaron. I'll be your guide again today. And first of all, thanks for everybody that's tuning in. We want to give you a shout out and also let you know that we are again answering questions in the comment section. So if we already know the answer, we'll get a quick response to you. If we don't, we'll kind of save that towards the end, and we'll have you sort of put those questions in the queue, and I'll answer them at the end. We're going to go ahead and get started. I have one thing I want to mention first before we get into the new product stuff, and that is kind of an announcement from our marketing team here. What you'll see here on this tractor is a magnet that represents some new efforts we're going to be taking with all tractors going out in the future. And this magnet is kind of a guide, and it's going to send customers, if they scan this QR code, to a web page that will show them all of the simple start videos that we've done for all the attachments and tractors, accessories, all those sort of things. And that's a good resource. We get a lot of requests, especially as our dealership numbers are growing and total salesperson numbers are growing. We get a lot of requests for technical support of various products, how-tos, things like that. And so having that on every new attachment or every new tractor is going to hopefully lead customers to a place where they can find some of those resources and get some of those questions answered. The big point here is we want to make sure that people do not take those off at setup. So when you uncrate a tractor, you get it out, get it ready to go on the showroom floor, or get it ready for delivery, don't remove that magnet. Leave it there. It's intended to be there while it's on the showroom floor just to help people find all that information. Okay, so that's one quick note there. And without any other delays, let's jump straight into the accessories. So today we're going to talk about all accessories. Everything that we're going to touch on today is an accessory and a few different type of products, a few different product lines, and we'll just jump right into it. So the first thing we want to talk about is an SSV accessory, and what we've got here is extensions for the SSV V-Blade. So as you know, last year SSV V-Blades making their way out into the world in somewhat limited quantities in the first batches, and some of the feedback that we got in the field was that, hey, this thing works really well, we like it a lot, but it's a little bit narrow. And it was narrow for a reason. Obviously the machine is designed to go on that 36-inch walk primarily, but we do get a lot of customers using them in transitional areas. So we did some extensions here, and these are 6 inches each side. It doesn't affect the performance of the V-Blade, doesn't change how it trips or anything like that. It continues on just like it did before, but it adds 6 inches of extra working width to each side of the blade. And these will be available in either a poly or a steel kit. What you see right now is the poly kit, and the cost on the poly extensions is $540 at retail. I'm going to give you all these numbers today through all of this stuff at retail, and you kind of know that you back it out and look for your dealer numbers in the system. The cost on the steel edge extension kit for the V-Blade is $480 at retail. And another point to mention on these poly cutting edges is that there is a second hole position, so when they wear some, you can lower them to that second hole and get some extra life out of them. So that's the first accessory, and then we'll go to the next one. Some of this stuff is pretty cut and dry. There's not a lot to say about it. You know, these blade accessories are not terribly complex. It's pretty simple, but stuff that people have asked for a lot. So the next thing is for the KD dozer blades. So in snow removal applications, getting a little more productivity out of these things, it's nice to have some wings, and that's what we've got on these. If you want to come back here to the back side, Mark, I'll point out a couple things about them. The way that these mount onto a standard KD blade is there's a structure here that bolts to the edge of the blade, and then it's kind of like a 2-inch receiver, and then these wings go on and off with a pin. So tool-free, pull the wing on and off, and super easy to deal with. They really do speed up the productivity an awful lot. So I've been using these things for a while, done some video shoots last winter with them that honestly, I don't know if I'd ever run a blade without them. We do have some people who would prefer to run one side or the other, and you can do that, but they make the blade a lot more effective when you are just trying to push piles or transitional areas. The total width increase of these extensions when the blade is straight ahead is a little over 11 inches, so whether you're going on a 60-inch or a 72-inch, just add 11 inches basically to the width of the blade and the functionality of it. So these are only coming as poly edge. That's just the way that they work the best, and that way it pairs with the poly edge and the blade kit if you have it. All of the KD blades moving forward will have the mounting holes lasered in for these extension kits should you choose to add them. On previous KD blades, they can be added by drilling those same holes, and you can use this mount kit as a template to do that. And they will only go on KD blades. So any blades prior to that, kind of from way back in the day, are not going to work because the angle of the brake on the blades is going to be a little bit different than the kit can accommodate. So extension kit, KD straight blades, super useful, very helpful, and available now as well. Those retail for $640. Then the next thing we're going to go to is kind of a 2-for-1 deal. We've got a new accessory for the leaf blowers in our lineup. And this is timely because leaf season is coming up, but basically what you're looking at here is the exact same kit, and it will go on either blower, the turbine blower or the smaller KA blower. And the mount kit, it includes the mount kit, the lights, and the wiring harness. The wiring harness plugs into the tractor 12 volt up front, and then these are turned on with a 12 volt switch on the SDLA. So you have to have the 12 volt kit on the tractor, and these will plug right into that, no extra wiring needed. These lights are a new light for us that we've been implementing in a few different areas of the lineup, but it's an LED light. It's 1,000 lumens per, so 2,000 lumens per kit. And basically what it does just adds a lot of extra visibility to the leaf attachments. A lot of that work is done in the fall when there's, not a lot of that work, all of that leaf work is done in the fall when light is limited, either before or after of the day. And getting some extra light and visibility out to the front working areas is important. So that's a new kit that is going on both of these blowers. And we do want to mention too, while we're here, I know we've kind of gone through this a little bit in the past because we're onboarding a lot of new dealers lately. And this might not be an attachment that everybody is familiar with, but consider this your annual friendly reminder that this leaf plow exists in our lineup and is something that you should be preparing to order right now if you're going to be in time for leaf season. The uniqueness of this attachment is that it basically doesn't sell all year long, and then it sells all at once in a 2-week window. So if you don't have them on your floor, you won't get rid of them. But you are going to get customers asking for this. You are going to get that repeat business year over year. People all of a sudden, for some reason, they just forget that leaves are going to be a thing, and then right when they are, they go, I need some stuff to deal with it. So leaf plow, we've had great success with this in that window. These also have the advantage, unlike a lot of attachments and tractors and power units from everyone these days, these have the advantage of being available right now. So we have a number of these in stock. We've got even more coming. If you order them right now, you should be good for this season. But this is one of those things that we've heard from a few different customers who basically consume most of their year doing stuff that has nothing to do with leaves, and they have tons of other attachments, different tractors from us, all these things. And we've heard from several different people that this attachment is actually their favorite attachment of their entire lineup. You know, they got snow stuff, they got green side stuff, they got everything, and somehow this is their most favorite attachment because it speeds them up so much. So if you're a new dealer, if you've not sold one of these yet, don't even think about it. Just get one on order, get one coming to you, because it's not going to be long, especially in those northern areas where leaves are going to be a thing. Customers are going to be demanding this right now. So quick note on leaf plow. Okay, and then the next two things that we want to talk about. The first one, we'll take this one off here on the bottom. Get this out of the way. Surprise, it's not a new tractor. We're hiding the wheels here. The talking point on this is that we have a new dual kit option available for the tractor. And we've got a couple different orientations here to represent all of the different options of the tractor. So when you order a tractor standard, it comes with Fieldtrax tires, 4 of them, standard configuration, no changes. That's the only thing that's not represented on this machine. Everything else that's represented is a possible option that you could run. What we're launching today is the tire and chain combination. And what this is a smaller tire, just slightly smaller outside diameter, combined with a chain that equals roughly the size, outside diameter size of the standard Fieldtrax. And the reason for these chains is for mowing in rough applications. We've got some customers out there who have been dabbling with this on their own and sourcing chains from somewhere else and sort of having mixed results with the durability of those chains and the supply side of them. So what we wanted to do is do some experimentation, figure out was this something we wanted to offer, and ultimately decided, okay, this works really well, this is a good thing, let's source these things, make it easy and clean for people to do, and kind of remove all the question marks around it. So now it's an official accessory. You can buy it for a 4500 tractor, and you can run it in a few different configurations, which I'll go over here in a second. Basically, let's start here. I'll start here at the back on this side, and we'll look at standard dual configuration. So we're all familiar with this: Field Trax front and rear, or inner and outer. This is what you would normally see today. You can also run chains only on the inside tire. This isn't something very common. You're probably not going to do this very often at all, unless it's someone trying to get by in a snow application that needs chains, if it's like an icy gravel uphill or something and it's kind of a special need. But it's there to represent that this is a possibility to run the machine this way as well. And then over here on this side are the two more common configurations that you're probably going to see requested. That is a chain tire on the outside only, accompanying a standard Field Trax tire, or a smaller tire and chain option inner and outer. And obviously, when you're in that rough field mowing application, you're doing tough cut work, think dams, levees, retention ponds, things like that, having all 8 tires and chains is going to be pretty beneficial compared to having just the outers. But just the outers is a little bit easier to live with. So we wanted to give people that option and sell it in those different ways. It is the standard dual hardware kit. So the way that you operate duals today, spinning them on and off, torquing them, all that stuff, is identical to how these go together. So there's nothing new to learn there. And from there, you can basically decide what configuration is best for the customer, what do they want to see, and you can go from there. So we're going to sell them as a dual kit, just like we sell the normal dual kit. And what that will come with is 4 tire and chain combos and all of the dual hub hardware and everything to put them on. The retail price on that is $15.95. And then you can buy, if you want to go, if you have a customer that wants to go to the whole setup and have all 8 tires and chains, then we'll also have tire and wheel options and chain individual options out of parts. So you'll buy those 4 separately to get that whole 8 combined. The cost of those is $75 per chain and $155 per wheel at retail. So that covers chain options, I think. I'll try and preemptively answer at least one question I know we're probably going to get. Slope rating does not change with these, and that's not really the goal. We're not trying to go to a steeper terrain necessarily. We're just trying to limit wheel slip and improve traction in the terrain that we already operate in. So if you get that question from customers, no, this doesn't make the tractor more capable as far as slope rating or anything like that. It should just give better traction in those rough cut applications. And last of all, we're going to talk about probably my favorite accessory of the bunch. We've got a new canopy and some more excitement underneath the canopy that we'll get to in a second. So obviously, brand new canopy. For a long time, we've had that white one that works pretty good, but doesn't look like it fits as well as this. This is actually a shared top from the cab of the tractor. A lot of people may not know that top was designed with this in mind so that one day we could use it as a canopy. It's got some features to shed water in the right ways and from a structural rigidity standpoint. So this cab top is now our new canopy. I think it just looks a lot better. It matches the tractor, looks really sleek. Mounting system is a little bit different. And it's got some new options too. So you'll see right away these front work light kits. These are the same lights that I was talking about on the blowers. So they're 1,000 lumens apiece. Very bright, very effective. And this canopy is also compatible with current rear work light kits. So I don't have those shown because they're not new. They're the current kit. And we've got the new front ones. We also have the strobe option on this one. And these are all options to the canopy. So see if I can get these going. There we go. There's a strobe option on there. And you can see those mount on all 4 corners, so that's front and rear. And then the last accessory that is kind of an accessory within is the downdraft fan on the canopy, which is the big news. That's the one that is really exciting, that I'm really happy to have. I've used it a few times. It basically completely changes the way that this tractor functions and works for the operator in terms of user experience when the weather is warm or when there are dusty conditions and you're trying to get that debris away from the operator. So the fan is pretty cool. It's a 12-inch fan. It has 5 different mounting positions depending on where you sit as an operator. So you sit on the seat, you can kind of pick and choose where you go here. Fan sits right here, and there's 3 speeds. Turn it on real quick just so you can kind of see. Hopefully that audio wasn't too obnoxious. It's 1,000 CFM max, and I can say that most of the times that I've run it, unless it's like super hot in the middle of the summer, you're probably not even using the max setting. So pretty powerful. It's really, really phenomenal to use. A couple things to note too on the Canopy that we want to say. Reverse compatibility of this thing will go to a 4200 on the Canopy only. So Canopy only by itself with none of the accessories, no fan, none of the light kits because that stuff reaches into wiring harness and everything else that's 4500 specific. So Canopy only will go to 4200 machines. Everything else is compatible with all versions of 4500. And on the back, I want to point out too some of the structure and things. There's some other options available as far as canopies go, but really why this is the right product for a Ventrac owner is that this is made for the tractor. This mount system, what we found is when you start adding all this weight, you start looking at any downdraft fan that's out there, you start adding a lot of weight here, you start adding a lot of leverage, you can really destroy ROP structure if you're not careful and you don't build it correctly. These hinges and stuff can start to get really worked because you've got a lot of leverage out here bouncing up and down. So what you'll notice is that ours is specifically designed for the shape and structure of our ROPs. Unfortunately, that makes it non-compatible with other machines, so you can't sell this to other machines with a 2-inch receiver or 2-inch ROPs. But we've got extra bracing here around that hinge on the ROP support to keep it from doing any damage to your ROPs. We've got a lot of extra structure here to keep it rigid. We have run this thing at highway speeds. I would always recommend if you're on a trailering this thing from place to place, put the rear of the tractor forward in the direction of forward travel so that you do as little damage to it as possible. But it does handle highway speeds and general road speed very well and should stay stable for that. But again, built for this tractor specifically, very rigid, very durable, and should be the best option available in terms of finding a good canopy option for any operator. Pricing on these things, we're looking at $1,000 retail for the canopy itself. The fan option is a $400 option. The strobes are $450, and the work light kit is $165. So that's the information I've got on that. All right, and with that, we're going to try and keep it short today. Not a whole lot of extra fluff to get into. Those are all of the new accessories. And check with Andrew real quick. Do we have any questions in the forum? Okay, no questions. All right, as always, if you think of questions later, let us know. We'll do our best to answer them. Talk to your inside sales reps, your outside sales reps. They've all been debriefed on this stuff. They kind of know what's going on. In terms of availability on all this stuff, they are available to order now. So call your inside reps, get the scoop on what you want and when you want to get it scheduled. Some of it will be shipping sooner rather than later, looking out in the next couple to few weeks and a little bit beyond. A little bit of it does come into play with all of the other stuff that we're dealing with on supply side. Some of the supply stuff is not as caught up as we'd like it to be, but the stuff is coming fairly soon, so it can be ordered now, and we will talk through it with you as far as availability, when it will ship, as soon as we know. All right, and with that, I think we're going to close it out. Like I said earlier, any more questions, filter it our way and let us know. We'll get back with you, and thanks for coming along.